Hey everyone, John here, and welcome back to the Toy Box. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're having a great day and a great weekend. I also hope you're ready for some more Pokémon Center Sitting Cuties Plushes. Today, we are going to look at some plushes from the first generation. We have the Geodude line today, Geodude, Graveler, and Golem. I'm excited to look at these because these are my favorite rock types from the first generation. I used them on my playthrough teams in the first generation as well as in the second generation. I even found myself raising an Alpha Geodude all the way up to Golem in Legends Arceus. Today we're going to talk about these plushes as well as my theory as to what the Geodude line is based on. We're going to start off with Geodude first, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. Geodude is the base form of the Geodude line. If there is an animal that looks like Geodude out there, I wasn't able to find it. Instead, it looks like Geodude is more similar to the living rocks that we see in myths, legends, TV shows, and movies, rather than any animal that we know. But something made me lean towards something more specific. The Geodude line all learns self-destruct and explosion. And that always bothered me because it didn't really make sense. It's a rock, why would it explode? We'll keep exploring this as we evolve our Geodude, but for right now, let's look at Geodude as our own cute little pet rock. Let's take a look at the plush. So first, Geodude passes the standing test. That means that it can stand on its own without any help from the wall or any other objects. Now looking at the size and the color. So the size, the proportions look pretty good. The color is kind of odd. I would imagine that Geodude is more gray. It actually looks more like a mix between its regular form and its shiny. And this isn't the first time that I've seen this with a Geodude toy. I've seen Geodude toys kind of have this color everywhere. So maybe it's me. But anyways, going to the firmness of the plush is very soft, which is odd considering that it's supposed to be a rock. I would imagine the plush would be firmer. But no, this is one of the softer plushes in the Sitting Cuties line. Now let's take a closer look at the details. So we'll start at the head. So we have Geodude's eyes, they're embroidered right here. We have Geodude's eyebrows right here. They're sewn in as lumps to the plush. We have the mouth right here. Doesn't look very friendly. And if we turn the plush around, you can see that they sewed in lumps to make it look more like a rock rather than just a ball, which is pretty cool. I like the design of this plush. The pellets are all on the bottom right here, so that's why Geodude is able to balance very easily. If we move on to the arms are skinny here. The hands are very big. They're balled up into fists, and you can see the finger lines. You have the thumb, then 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. Here's the other one that you can see. This one looks a little bit better. And there they are from the other side. And lastly, we have the tags. So, here is the tail tag. And I've looked at this plush before when I first started reviewing Sitting Cuties plushes. So I already took the tag off of this one. But it had the old style tag since it was new at that time. But anyways, that is our Geodude plush. So now that we've seen Geodude, let's take a look at its evolution. Graveler is the middle evolution of the Geodude line. It is what I would expect it to be. If Geodude is a pet rock, then Graveler is what happens when that pet rock grows up and goes out of control. It likes rolling down mountain roads. Imagine being in a car traveling down one of those narrow mountain roads and you see this coming at you. Scary. Let's take a look at the plush. So first, Graveler passes the standing test. Just like Geodude, it doesn't need any assistance from the wall or any other objects to stand. Now, the colors and the proportions are very good for this plush. Now, going back to Geodude's color, this is the color that I would expect the Geodude to have. So you can see that they're pretty different. So I would actually expect Geodude to be the same color as Graveler. Now, as far as the firmness goes, this plush is very soft. One of the softest in the Sitting Cuties line so far. Which again, I wouldn't expect from a rock. Let's take a closer look at the details. So first we'll start with the head. We have Graveler's eyes, they're embroidered. We have these eyebrows sewn in. You can see they have a nice border to them. We have a smile here. So Graveler is a little more friendly, but I think it's friendly because it's enjoying rolling down the hill at you. We have these this rock crown here that Graveler has. So it extends through its whole forehead, and you can see it from the side here. This is kind of where it ends up. Graveler has all of these little patches throughout its body. It looks like it's made from like a dual layer material, and I don't know if it's fabric glued there or if the other layer is sewn in, but you can see these all throughout its body, and they do look like separate pieces. Now all of the pellets are right here near the bottom of the plush. That's why it can balance pretty well. Now, Graveler has 2 sets of arms. We have the front arms here, which are tucked in. They don't come out at all. There are 3 fingers for each arm. You can see the other side. And then we have the back arms. We can take a look at it from this side. We have a lump right here. They're segmented off. And we have 3 fingers per arm. We can see the other side right here. Looks pretty cool. And then we have the legs. Now, Graveler's legs are very small, so this is pretty accurate as well. We have little flaps up here with rock, and then we have the legs. You can barely tell, but they have 3 toes on them as well. Here is the other leg. And lastly, we have the tags. Here's one, and here's the tag. This is the old style tag. If you were to buy them now, I'm thinking they might have the new tags, but I'm not sure. Here's the other side. Anyways, that was Graveler. So now that we've seen Graveler, let's take a look at Golem. And this is where my theory really starts to get interesting. So, Golem is the final evolution of the Geodude line. And I have to say, it looks very different from Geodude and Graveler. In fact, if I wasn't told that Geodude evolves into Golem, or if I never traded a Graveler, I would have never known. So, how do we get from a pet rock to a bigger pet rock to a turtle with a rock shell? This is where my theory comes in. The Geodude line all learns Self-Destruct and Explosion. I mentioned this earlier. But wait a minute, something is wrong. Golem's Pokédex entry says that Dynamite can't even scratch the shell. Well, how are you supposed to do Explosion if the shell can't even be scratched with Dynamite? That's when it hit me. The Geodude line isn't actually exploding. It's hitting the ground at a high speed, and that explosion is the energy generated from that. What else hits the ground at high speeds and generates an explosion? Asteroids. I'm a huge dinosaur fan, and that was the first answer that I thought of. The asteroid impact that killed off the dinosaurs was estimated at 100 million megatons. And look, Golem is the megaton Pokemon. So this changes the game completely. We aren't looking at pet rocks anymore, we're looking at asteroids. Geodude is a little meteorite that you can pick up off the ground. Graveler is a bigger meteorite. And Golem is a full asteroid that can cause a huge impact on the environment when it crashes into the ground. But why does it look like a turtle? Well, let's take it a step further. We know the shell is hollow. Golem can withdraw into its shell. I would say think of that shell as a housing for alien life. The Geodude line has been an alien housed in meteorites and asteroids the entire time. In the Geodude and Graveler stages, we're just looking at its eyes, but as a Golem, the alien inside is finally revealed. Let's take a look at this plush. So first, Golem passes the standing test. It doesn't need any help from the wall or any other objects in order to stand on its own. Now, the colors and the proportions are perfect. As far as the firmness goes, Golem is a very soft plush. Also, it's very cuddly, just like Graveler and Geodude. Let's take a closer look at the details. So starting with the head, we can see Golem's eyes. They're embroidered. You can see it here. We have a nose here. we have a mouth, and we have some teeth. Now moving on to its arms. The arms are skinny. We have 3 claws on each hand. You can see it on the other side as well. And then we have the legs right here. There are 4 claws on each leg. Then we have a 5th one in the back. Here's the other leg. And now we can look at the shell. This is the most beautiful part of the plush in my opinion. I've always loved the patterns on Golem, but this plush, the craftsmanship on it is great. So take a look. It is sewn in here for each piece. And I'm not sure if they're all separate pieces sewn together or if it's just a pattern of the stitches, but it looks very nice. And it's very, it has a texture to it. So it's not just a pattern sewn in. There's clearly texture to this. So this is probably one of the nicest Sitting Cuties plushes there are, I think. The pellets are all here around the leg area, so it can balance sitting down and doesn't roll all over the place. And lastly, let's take a look at the tags. So this is the old style tag for Golem. Again, if you were to buy it, I don't know if it'll have the newer tag style. Then we have this one. So anyways, that is Golem. So now that we've figured this out, let's bring everyone back together. Well, we've looked at the Pokémon Center Geodude, Graveler, and Golem Sitting Cuties plushes. What do you guys think of these plushes? And what do you think of my theory about the Geodude line? Let me know in the comments section below. If you are interested in any of these plushes, I'll put links to Pokémon Center in the description. At the time of filming, they are going for $10.99 each. Well, that's all I have for you guys this week. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, rate, subscribe, and don't stop playing.